The batting orders now. First for New York. Tommy Agee leading off, playing center field. Wayne Garrett at third base. Don Clendenin at first base. Art Shamsky in left field. Ken Boswell at second base. Ron Swoboda in right field. Jerry Grody, the catcher. Bud Harrelson at short. And Gary Gentry to do the pitching. For Los Angeles, Maury Wills at short. Manny Mota in left. Willie Davis in center. Wes Parker at first. Willie Crawford in right. Bill Sudeikis at third. Tom Haller, the catcher. Ted Sizemore at short. And Don Sutton will be the pitcher. The umpires, Stan Landis at the plate, Williams, Colosi, and Gorman on the bases. On the scoreboard, the Cubs have added 2 more. They now lead Cincinnati 6-0 in the last of the 6th inning. We'll be underway with the ball game in a moment. Now here is our national anthem. Waiting on the Dodgers to go to the field. As the ball game gets underway, the Dodgers are in second place, 1.5 game behind the Giants, who are idle today. The Giants will play Montreal a single game tomorrow at San Francisco. The Cincinnati Reds have lost to Chicago in the completion of their suspended game, and the Cubs are winning the second game, and they have a doubleheader tomorrow. The Atlanta Braves are idle today. Houston and St. Louis are all tied up at 6-6 playing in the 8th inning. So that's the notes from the scoreboard, and the Dodgers will be trying to win this one to go into first place. And, of course, we've had all kinds of things going on in this wild Western race in the National League. And the combinations now are getting, quite numerous. Willie Davis going to the field now is a little late and gets a hand as he goes out. Don Sutton warming up with Tommy Haller. Willie, of course, has a big item going for him tonight. He has tied the Dodgers' all-time consecutive game batting streak set by Zach Wheat. And Willie will be out tonight to try to set a new one. We'll have more about the streaks a little later on. The Dodgers on the homestand have played well. They have won 6 out of the 7 games, 2 left against the Mets, and they're trying to continue against New York after losing all 6 games in New York. Tomorrow night's game will wind up play between the East and the West, and it'll be back against the West on Thursday night as the Dodgers journey to San Diego to open a 4-game series against the Padres. The Padres tonight are playing host to Philadelphia. Okay, we're all set. Time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Mets, game 2 from Dodger Stadium. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you, wherever you may be, and welcome to Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers and the Mets with a lot of work to do, and, of course, all eyes in the ballpark awaiting the individual performance from Willie Davis. But right now, the Mets come up with Tommy Agee to start it off. He'll be followed by Wayne Garrett and then Don Clendenin. Don Sutton looks in to get a sign, and here's the first pitch of the evening as the right-hander delivers high, ball 1. Tommy Agee had a big day with the bat yesterday, had 3 singles, a home run, and a walk. He also stole 2 bases, so he put on quite a performance. Agee hitting .281, and he has 23 home runs, 65 RBIs. Fastball is high, ball 2, 2-0. Agee moves around a lot in the batter's box. He raises his left leg off the ground and kind of shakes his spikes before swinging. When he runs, and particularly in the outfield, he reminds you a great deal of Willie Mays. Tommy Agee. Here's a 2-0 pitch on the way to Tommy. Swung on and lifted to right field. Moving back on the ball is Crawford near the track and makes the catch just on the track. So Agee, a fly ball to right field. One away, and Wayne Garrett, the batter. Garrett hitting .229. By the way, our Dodger network has increased with the excitement of Willie Davis and the National League pennant race on the line. We're delighted to welcome to the Dodger Network station KLIQ in Portland, KXLY in Spokane. Pitch over for a strike to Wayne Garrett. So welcome aboard. Hope it's a good ride for you. 0-1 the count to Garrett. Wayne, left-hand hitter. The next pitch fouled away off to the left, carrying to the second deck in the count 0-2. This is the 11th meeting of the year between the two clubs. The Mets have won 7 of 10. All 6 of the meetings in New York, and the Dodgers have won 3 out of 4 here. Garrett waiting. On deck, Don Clendenin. Sutton into the windup. Right-hander ready and delivers on the hands inside. Ball 1. 1-2. Sutton trying to win his 16th. The Dodger pitching staff racking him up now. Osteen an 18-game winner, followed by Singer's 17 and Sutton's 15. The 1-2 off-speed pitch is fouled away, so Garrett is still there. Claude Osteen ran in the outfield a bit. When asked by a group of writers in the dugout, "Are you okay?" he said yes. That's all, and went on his way to the dressing room. We'll find out more about Osteen and his pulled muscle tomorrow night. 1-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside, ball 2. Stan Landis calling balls and strikes. Billy Williams at first, Nick Colosi at second, Tommy Gorman on the line back at third. Yogi Berra coaching at first, and Eddie Yost coaching at third. Sutton ready to pitch and then backs off to double check with Tommy Haller. The infield of Parker and Sizemore, Will Sudeikis, and the outfield, Mota, Davis, and Crawford. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball down and away. Ball 3. 3-2. So Don Sutton takes a little breather now, pitching very carefully to Wayne Garrett, the right-hand hitting first baseman Don Clendenin to follow. 3-2 the count. Sutton ready and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 3. So Garrett strikes out. A fastball at the knees got him, 2 out. And first baseman Don Clendenin coming up. Clendenin hitting .257 with 9 home runs, 39 runs batted in. It is particularly fitting tonight that Willie Davis has his record on the line. The pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. It is particularly fitting that the Dodgers should be playing the New York Mets as Willie tries to break the old Dodger record held by Zach Wheat. What makes it so fitting is seated in the stands to the right of home plate is a teammate, or was a teammate, of Zach Wheat, Casey Stengel. Pitch to Clendenin missed, 1 ball and 1 strike. So the man who saw Zach Wheat's 29 is on hand to see if Willie can make it 30. 1-1 the count to Don Clendenin. Sutton delivers inside, ball 2, 2-1. The Dodger front office contacted Zach Wheat and asked him about his streak. And Zach was saying that he felt an umpire called him out when he was safe, and that he should have had a 41-game hitting streak. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Clendenin. A drive to right center field and deep. Willie Davis going over, watching that ball go in the seats. Home run for Don Clendenin. He really drove that one out. Don Clendenin shoots one into the right center field bleachers for a home run for Clendenin, his 10th of the year. He now has 40 RBIs, and the Mets have a run. And the batter will be Art Shamsky. That home run ball, and of course it hurts every pitcher. Sutton leads the Dodgers staff in home runs allowed, 21. Bill Singer has allowed 19, Osteen 14, along with Bunning. Art Shamsky takes high, ball 1. Clendenin, tremendously strong, hit it just to the left of the 380 sign in right center. One ball and no strikes to count. The next pitch to Shamsky, fouled at the plate. 1-1. The Mets leading 1-0 here in the first inning. Art Shamsky, left-hand batter, having perhaps his best year in the big leagues. He's hitting .303, and he has 11 home runs, 36 runs batted in. He has hurt the Dodgers. He has hit over 300 against them this year. 1-1 pitch to Shamsky, foul back. 1-2. The Dodgers will go with Claude Osteen tomorrow night. The Mets are speculating, and it might very well be that left-handed Jerry Koosman will come back and pitch tomorrow evening. A very important reason for Koosman to pitch tomorrow. The 1-2 pitch, Shamsky hits a little pop fly back a third. Going back is Sudeikis, and Wills, the better angle, makes the catch. So Morey going behind Sudeikis to handle a little pop fly. The Mets get a run on the home run by Clendenin, and at the end of half an inning, Mets 1, Dodgers coming up.
Kemper headquarters in the Valley is Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, just north of Thomas Road. Camp West, featuring 2 outstanding lines of quality campers, Tramper Camper and Trevette, and 75 different models to choose from. They've got a camper to suit your needs, your budget, with prices starting as low as $189. Both Tramper Camper and Trevette feature a lifetime warranty for as long as you own the camper. See Tramper Camper with all the luxury of more expensive campers, and Trevette, the Cadillac of campers. And you do-it-yourselfers, you'll find everything you need to build your camper at Camp West. Aluminum skins and windows, ice boxes, stoves, water pumps, water pressure systems. You name it, if they don't have it, they'll get it for you. And remember, for quality, price, and service, see Camp West Industries. Easy to get to from anywhere in the Valley. They're at 2802 Grand Avenue, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. Remember, before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer.
Bottom of the first inning, the Mets have a run. Loosening up on the mound is Gary Gentry. Working to his battery mate, Jerry Grody. The infield for New York, Don Clendenin at first base, Ken Boswell at second. The shortstop is Bud Harrelson, and the third baseman, Wayne Garrett. Art Shamsky, Tommy Agee, and Ron Swoboda in the outfield. Maury Wills will lead it off. Maury Wills hitting .271. As a Dodger, he's hitting .304. And he'll hit left-handed against Gary Gentry. Gentry, no record against the Dodgers. He pitched in a game that the Mets won on the 24th of August in New York. Right-hander delivers, fastball, low ball 1-0. Gentry has lost his last 4 decisions. He has not won a game in his last 9 starts. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball for a strike. In fact, his last victory was against the Cubs the 15th of July. So he's a hungry pitcher. It's been over 6 weeks. Right-hander's 1-1 pitch to Wills. Morey takes a look. It'll cost him a strike. 1-2. Jim Gilliam coaching at first. Danny Ozark at third. On deck, Manny Mota. The outfield split with a gap in right center. Shamsky guarding the left field foul line. The 1-2 pitch to Wills. Taken, strike 3 called. Breaking ball got him, and down he goes. 1 out, and Manny Mota coming up. Manny Mota hitting .336 with the league, and as a Dodger, .345. So Mota getting scored away. He's trying to find his way out of a slump. He had hit a spell where he went 1 for 20. Yesterday, he had a single, triple, and walk. Gary Gentry into the windup and delivers, and the breaking ball is swung on and missed, 0-1. On deck, Willie Davis. And Willie is a very easygoing guy. He's got a philosophy that he has dwelled a great deal of time upon about it's not my wife and it's not my life and all that, but guaranteed he's got to feel something now. He must feel it tonight. 0-1 to Mota. Gentry ready, delivers. Fastball grounded down to second base. Boswell up with it, throws him out. Okay, 2 down, and coming up for the first of several meetings tonight, Mr. Willie Davis. it's a great touch. Zach Wheat is 81 years old. Zach makes his home in Sunrise Beach, Missouri. And by sunrise tomorrow, Zach Wheat will know whether Willie Davis has broken his record or not. Gentry ready, the pitch to Willie. Fastball outside, ball one. Casey Stengel, who saw Zach Wheat roll up that 29-game hitting streak, is in the first row of seats with his wife Edna, taking in the ball game. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Willie Davis. Change fouled away. Willie, way out in front of it, fouled it off. Might have gone after a bad ball, and the count 1-1. Wayne Garrett is up even with the bag at third. Davis, in piling up his 29 games, has not used the bunt as a weapon at all. He's had to swing away just about all the time. Willie swings at a breaking ball high. It's the first time in a while I think he has chased two bad balls consecutively. That might be a sign he's pressing. In fact, he wouldn't be very human if he weren't pressing a little bit tonight. 1-2 to Willie Davis. 2 out first inning, 1-0 New York. He went after an outside change and a breaking ball around the shoulders. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball hit over the mound. Back at second base is Harrelson. Glove throws, gets him by a step. Okay, Willie Davis thrown out as Bud Harrelson shaded him up the middle and went behind the bag to get him. The Dodgers are gone in order, and at the end of 1. Mets 1, Dodgers nothing.
Hey, Hobie Alter, who do you look up to when everyone around you is being wiped out by some wild surf at Waimea Bay?
I look up to the Haleiwa life-saving team. But usually all I see when I look up is another 25-foot wave.
Hey, Hobie Alter, who do you look up to when your car isn't taking the big hills like it should?
I look up to 76.
Who would like to be a Big Brother? Catholic Big Brother, Jewish Big Brother, and the Big Brothers of Greater Los Angeles. Call this number, 623-4887. 623-4887. There's a shortage of Big Brothers, and they could use you. All right, Boswell at first base with a single to left field, and here is Ron Svoboda. Svoboda hitting .241, strong right-hand hitter. Sutton starts him with a fastball on the hands, foul to the screen, and the count 0-1. If you joined us a little late, the Mets got a run in the first inning when Don Clendenin hit one into the seats in right center field over 380 from home plate. And Willie Davis was thrown out by Bud Harrelson in the bottom of the first. The pitch to Svoboda, breaking ball in the dirt. Dug out by Haller, 1-1. Don Sutton, 15-12, but the Mets have beaten him twice. He is 2-5 to them lifetime. 1-1 pitch to Svoboda. Slow curve fouled off, 1-2. After Svoboda comes the catcher, Jerry Grody. Same 2 clubs tomorrow night. Definitely Claude Osteen and maybe Jerry Koosman will come back. Koosman could get only 1 out yesterday, but in order to keep him in a proper rotation and get him ready to pitch against the Chicago Cubs, the Mets feel Koosman must pitch tomorrow night. Here's the 1-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called. Svoboda had a look and walked away. 1 out, and Jerry Grody, the batter. Catcher Grody, hitting .247. He has 4 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Mets leading 1-0 in the second inning. Grody, right-hand batter. Boswell held on by Parker. Sutton has a look over there, and the fastball on the hands, a half-swing ground ball to Wills. He's to Sizemore, back to Parker, double play. And sprawled in the dirt, a foot or 2 beyond second base, is Boswell, who tried to get Sizemore but couldn't do it. So the double play, 6-4-3, no runs, a hit, nobody left, and at the end of an inning and a half, the Mets won, the Dodgers nothing.
Anytime you want a drinkable, likable, comfortable kind of beer, think of Bergie. This comfortable quality that Bergie's got is really unique. Comes from being brewed with soft water. Bergie's comfortable so you can enjoy that fine beer taste glass after cold, wet, beautiful glass. enjoyment, refreshment, and great beer taste as long as you like. Fergie, a comfortable kind of beer.
Bottom of the second inning, the Mets leading 1-0. Gary Gentry and Don Sutton. The Dodgers will have Wes Parker, Willie Crawford, and Bill Sudeikis. They're all tied up at 5-5, or make it 6-6. 6-6, the Cardinals in Houston through 9. Chicago leading Cincinnati 6-0 at the end of 6.5 innings. And they just added 2 more. So it's now 8-0 in favor of Chicago. The Cubs won their suspended game. And they're ripping the Reds in the scheduled game. All right, here's Wes Parker. Wes hitting .296, and Gentry's fastball on the hands lifted to shallow left. Chansky coming up for it is there and makes the catch for the out. So Parker a fly ball to left field. 1 out, and Willie Crawford the batter.
Willie Crawford.
The Dodgers know full well what a tough pennant race it has been and what a tough pennant race it is going to be. To illustrate the point, the Dodgers have won 6 of their last 7 games, and they have gained a half a game on the National League leader. Crawford taps it to the right of the mound. Gentry has it and throws him out before he's 3/4 of the way down the line. So 2 down, and Bill Sudeikis will be the batter. On the 25th of August, the Dodgers had lost 4 in a row. You remember the Mets had gaffed them 3 times, and the Dodgers were 1 game out of first place. They turned around to win 6 of the next 7, and they're trailing by a half. If the Dodgers win tonight and Cincinnati loses that scheduled game and they are trailing 8-0, the Dodgers could climb into first place. But they have to beat Gentry. And the Mets are leading 1-0 here in the second. Right-hander ready, delivers. Sudeikis takes inside on the elbows for 1. Bill hitting .238. He had a great streak. Then just as he cooled off, he fell ill and was hospitalized in New York. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Sudeikis. A strike at the knees, 1-1. Gary Gentry. Gentry's from Phoenix. The 1-1 pitch, off speed, squirted off the end of the bat wide to third. Garrett in front of Harrelson throws him out. So the Dodgers are gone in order. Gentry has retired 6 in a row, and at the end of 2 innings, Mets 1, Dodgers nothing. Friends, part of the business of big league baseball are the road trips, and road trips happen to be an important part of Farmer John's pork business, too. He does his tripping to where the pork is best, to the famous corn country back east. That's where he gets eastern corn-fed pork, the finest. Then he brings it out here live, and it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other packers ship their pork in frozen or cold storage. So Farmer John pork is as fresh as you can buy. Remember this the next time you buy pork at your market, and make the next time soon. Get yourself a lean, luscious Farmer John pork roast. Or how about this? Some sweet, succulent Farmer John pork chops. Or maybe a few pounds of marvelous, meaty Farmer John spare ribs. Just be sure to ask the butcher for Farmer John pork, and then you'll know it's strictly fresh. Farmer John, fresh pork. Gold medal winner at the California State Fair. Put it on your shopping list. Good idea to do it right now. Through 2 innings, the Mets 1 run, 2 hits. The big blow was Don Clendenin's home run. The Dodgers retired 6 in a row. Now let's go to the third. For more play-by-play, here's Jerry Docker.
All right, Vinny, and Bud Harrelson, the shortstop, starting it off. Bud batting .233. Switch hitter batting left now against Don Sutton, who yielded the home run to Don Clendenin in the first inning for the only run of the game. Here's the windup by Sutton. The pitch on the way. Fastball that's a little low inside. Ball 1. Don Sutton with 15 victories on the year. Osteen is the staff leader with 18, and Singer has 17. Sutton trying to gain 20. They'll have to win nearly every time out. Now here's a bunt off to the left side out of play, and it is 1-1. Harrelson trying to bunt for a base hit. The Dodgers after tonight will have 30 games left to play, which means that each starting pitcher will have about 7 starts left. So Don is going to try to make the most of each start that he has if he's going to notch 20. Osteen will try for 19 tomorrow night. And Singer then will open up in San Diego. Here's a foul out of play. One and two to Bud Harrelson. 1-2 count. Harrelson waiting now as Sutton goes into the windup again, and his pitch. Curveball bounced out near second base. Wills has to back up for it. His throw is just in time. Boy, Maury really had to fire once he got the ball. He had to back up and wait for a high hopper bouncing out near second. Harrelson out, and here is Gary Gentry, the pitcher, coming on. Gary, quite a high school star in the Phoenix area in Scottsdale. Coming on now. His record is 9 wins, 11 losses on the year. He's making his second start against the Dodgers. He started against the Dodgers in Sutton in New York on the 24th. Was not involved in the decision. The Mets won the game 7-4. First pitch, a strike to Gentry. Now the windup and the pitch on the way. Too high for a ball. 1-1. Atlanta and the Giants both idle tonight. Giants play Montreal tomorrow. Atlanta will be playing Pittsburgh tomorrow. The 1-1 pitch. Too high with a fastball. 2-1 now to Gentry. On deck, Tommy Agee. National League Western Pennant race going right down to the wire now as we enter the final month. Breaking ball is a strike called, and it is 2-2. In the game at Cincinnati now, they're playing in the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is 8-2, the Cubs over Cincinnati. That's a tough break for the Mets. They, of course, were pulling for the Reds, and the Dodgers were pulling for the Cubs. There's a swing and a miss to Gentry, strike 3. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
You can charge your purchases and take many months to pay at Mesa Shoe Service, 338 East University, Mesa, where you can use your Arizona Bank, Bank AmeriCard.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
Tommy Agee coming up with 2 out. As the Mets began play tonight, they were 5 games behind since the Cubs picked up the completion of the suspended game. The Mets, who a week ago were only 2 behind, have now fallen back to 5. Curveball, the way Agee is in there for a strike called, 0-1. Tommy fly deep to right field his first time up. He had 4 hits yesterday, hitting .281. The Mets, a coming ball club. They've made a race out of it. They're trying to hang tough for the final month. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Too high over his head, and Agee leaned back. 1 ball and 1 strike. At the end of 10 innings at Houston, the Astros 6 and the Cardinals 6. And boy, Houston has been involved in a lot of close ball games lately. They have fallen to 5.5 behind. Pitch outside, ball 2. 2-1 to Agee. 2 outs, top of the 3rd. 1-0, the Mets lead. The Mets lead the Dodgers on the season. They've won 7 of 10. The Dodgers trying to close that gap. Now the windup and the 2-1 pitch to Agee. Curveball bounced back off Sutton's glove in front of second base. Will scoops up on the run. Great play, got him. A beautiful play by Will as Sutton deflected the ball. And Will came in front of second base behind the mound, scooped up, transferred the ball to the throwing hand, and fired across. In time to get Agee, and he got a handshake from Sutton as he walked off the field. The out is scored 1-6-3. The Mets gone in the 3rd, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Mets 1, Dodgers nothing.
Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road, presents from Magnavox, a new color television set that will be as important to viewers as new supersonic airplanes are to air travelers. From Magnavox comes a revolutionary achievement which solves the problem of annoying color variations in color TV. It's Total Automatic Color TV. Total Automatic Color from Magnavox makes tuning of color TV so simple a child can tune it perfectly. Total Automatic Color from Magnavox eliminates annoying color variations and the need for bothersome picture adjustments or tuning. Magnavox now lets you select the flesh tone colors most pleasing to you and keeps them that way in every picture from every program on any channel or network. Just set it once and forget it. No variance of colors from program to commercial, from program to program, or from channel to channel. See the complete line of Magnavox Color TVs. Now with total automatic color at Christown TV in the Christown Shopping Center, 19th Avenue and West Bethany Home Road. Christown TV and Magnabox, a colorful combination.
Tom Haller coming on now as we go to the bottom of the third. Haller batting seventh. Sizemore on deck and Sutton to follow. Young Gary Gentry for the New York Mets doing the work. He has retired 6 men in a row. And now Haller waiting. There's a swing of the fly ball to center field. A.G. right in his tracks, waiting on this one. Moves 2 steps to his right and makes the catch for the out. So Haller out on a fly ball straight away to center. That'll bring up Ted Sizemore, who's been carrying a hot bat. Ted has 9 hits in his last 15 at-bats, and he's hit safely in 18 of 20 games, and now he's hit safely in 5 straight. So Ted's average up to 274. Don Sutton on deck. We're playing in the third, and the Mets lead. 1-0 on the first inning home run by Don Clendenin, his 10th of the year. Here's the pitch on the way to Sizemore. Slider is high, 1 ball and no strikes. The Dodgers go out on the road beginning Thursday, 4 in San Diego, 2 in Atlanta, and 2 in Houston. And then back home for another big, important homestand. Curve low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. When the Dodgers get back home, they play San Diego, Cincinnati, and Atlanta, and there'll be a doubleheader with Cincinnati on the 16th. That is a Tuesday night. And they go out on the road again to San Francisco and Cincinnati. Sizemore fouls it away, out of play, 2-1. The season ends with San Francisco for 3 and Houston for 3 here at home. And the wind-up date is October the 2nd. Season this year, for the first time, will end in the middle of the week, actually on a Thursday instead of the usual Sunday. 2-1 count, Sizemore. Waiting now as Gentry delivers. Fastball high, ball 3. He can throw hard, make no mistake about it. Gary Gentry, he can fire it. Gentry pitching to Sizemore, 3-1. The Mets have some fine young arms on their team. Sizemore takes inside, ball 4, and he's on with a walk. So the Dodgers get their first base runner as Sizemore walks. Don Sutton will be the batter. Don, as a hitter, is hitting 177. He has 6 sacrifice bunts. He struck out 24 times in 79 at-bats. Has 14 hits and 3 runs batted in. The Mets now move the infield to look for the bunt from Sutton. 1 out, 1 on, and a 1-0 score, New York leading. The arm stretch and the look by Gentry. Sutton squares around, and the pitch is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Clendenin at first base and Garrett at third were charging the plate, with Boswell going over to cover first. Nice crowd out tonight, and don't forget tomorrow night, Claude Osteen will try for 19. Hope you'll be here. 1-0. Sutton again turns around in the batter's box, swings, and fouls it away. He took a full cut at it, trying to drive it by the third baseman who was charging in. 1-1 to Don. The last of the third, and the Mets lead on a home run by Clendenin, 1-0. Keep repeating the score. Chicago won the suspended game from the Reds 5-4. They lead the nightcap 8-2, and they'll play a doubleheader tomorrow at Crosley Field. They were rained out last night. They're in the 11th inning in Houston, all tied at 6-6, the Cardinals and the Astros. The pitch to Sutton. Full swing and a pop fly at shortstop. Harrelson backing up for it and makes the catch for the out. So Sutton taking a swing at it and popped it up. 2 down, and the batter will be Wills. Maury has struck out his only time at bat, hitting .271. 3 homers and 39 runs batted in. Maury Wills, the batter. Two outs. Sizemore at first. Wills facing Gentry. Here's the look, and the runner going. Pitch in. Throw down is high. He's out anyway. As Garrett came down and made the tag on Sizemore. He straddled him coming down and tagged him out. So Ted out on a steal to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. And the score through 3 innings of play, New York 1 and the Dodgers nothing.
Hey, Johnny Weissmuller, who did you look up to in all those Tarzan epics?
I usually looked up to the monkeys. They were always a few lines ahead of me. And I looked up to my elocution teacher. He taught me how to say, "Ah!"
Hey, Johnny Weissmuller, who do you look up to when your car starts getting ahead of you?
That's when I look up to 76. Those guys are real swingers when it comes to keeping my car on the beaten path.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. For a sonnet and service that you want to choose, look up to 76.
Union 76 dealers know about cars. They live with them all day. Plus, they've got the best gasolines around and 76 revolving credit to help you pay the bill.
Drop in. Don't get caught out on the limb.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Now we're set to move along to the fourth inning. The Mets lead 1-0. Let's go back to the action, and here's Vin.
All right, Jerry, that only run, in case you weren't with us, a home run in the first inning by right-hand batter Don Clendenin as he hit one into the right center field bleachers. Wayne Garrett, Don Clendenin, and Art Shamsky come up in the fourth inning. Don Sutton into the windup, and the right-hander's breaking ball in for a strike. 0-1. 1 run, 2 hits for the Mets. Nothing for the Dodgers. They've gotten 1 man aboard on a walk. Sutton ready, and the strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball popped in the air into shallow right field. Sizemore out, Crawford in. It's Sizemore calling. He's got it. So Garrett pops to Sizemore, and here is Clendenin. Don, a big guy with a lot of power, and he put it in the showcase when he homered to right center. 1 for 1. When the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the fourth inning, Wills, Mota, and Davis. So if you have something to do, get it done before Willie comes up. And Clendenin fouls it away. 0-1. 0-1 to Don Clendenin. Outfield deep and just about straight away. If anything, they'll give him the lines. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball on the inside corner at the knees. Strike 2. 0-2. Dodgers have a lot of new faces in Dodger uniforms tonight, but the one face they are delighted to have back is relief pitcher Jim Brewer, who returned from the hospital and is in uniform tonight. Fastball fouled away, so it's still 0-2. Brewer had the perfect answer when you ask someone who has been in traction for 4 days, how do you feel? And Brewer summed it up. He said, taller. And I guess that would be just how you would feel after 4 days of being stretched. 0-2 to Clendenin. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball and a towering drive to left. If it's fair, it's in Kansas. It is fair. Oh, what a moonshot that was. Don Clendenin wears number 22, and that sums up the game tonight. He has been to bat twice. He has taken 2 big swings, and the Mets have 2 big runs. So Clendenin homered to right center, and he hit a shot over the foul pole down the left field line, and that's awfully high. But we ought to check and see just how high that foul pole is. The batter is Shamsky for a strike. Strike 1 pitch on the way, a breaking ball low, 1-1. So Don Clendenin has bombed 2. Boy, that was a towering smash. It looked more like a marble. And the Mets lead 2-0. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Off speed and high, ball 2, 2-1. So Clendenin has now hit 11 home runs, is 41 RBIs, and Sutton has dished up 22 home runs this year. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Inside, crowding Shamsky, ball 3, 3-1. Boy, these big leaguers, when they hit in the number 3, 4, 5 spot and have power, they can really amaze you. Sutton, perhaps, that ball was hit so hard it loosened his laces. So he's going to tie the laces on the right shoe. Here's a 3-1 pitch on the way, and Shamsky takes high, ball 4. Boswell single to left field in the second inning.
Boswell, second base.
Boswell 1 for 1, left-hand batter. Mets 2, Dodgers nothing in the 4th, 1 out. Shamsky at first base held on by Parker. Boswell waiting. Now the pitch to Boswell over for a strike. Ken Boswell with 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, hitting .254. On deck, Ron Swoboda. Here's the strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-2. Ferguson Jenkins won his 19th tonight as he beat Tony Cloninger 8-2. Tom Seaver, who had a sore shoulder for about a month, otherwise might have had more, he's 19-7 with the Mets. Pitch outside to Boswell, 1-2. The Mets and the Cubs have 4 games. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Boswell takes strike 3 called. He knew it. Down he goes. 2 out, and the batter will be Ron Swoboda. Swoboda struck out in the second inning. He's 0 for 1. The Mets will play in Chicago. Well, let's see now. They're at home, first of all. They play at home on the 8th and 9th with the Cubs. And they'll play in Chicago on the 1st and 2nd of October. The pitch to Swoboda, breaking ball low, ball 1. Two to nothing in favor of Clendenin. He homered in the first inning. He has homered in the 4th. Sutton straddling the rubber. Shamsky inching off the bag. He is not much of a base threat, base stealing threat, as Swoboda takes low, ball 2. Shamsky has stolen 1 base. In the bottom half, it's Wills, Mota, Davis. And the Mets leading 2 to nothing. Clendenin, I think, has to win the honors for the year and maybe ever since this ballpark was built for the highest home run hit here. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Swoboda. Sutton delivers, half swing on a breaking ball, but it's low and he held up, ball 3. 3-0 to Ron. Swoboda is strong enough to be allowed to swing 3-0 if it's in there. He takes inside, ball 4. So 2 walks. They'll inform Shamsky he can go to second. And the batter will be Jerry Grody. We wanted a double check because of the tremendous height of the shot by Don Clendenin. And the only way to gauge the ball, it was hit so high going down the left field line, was to the height of the foul poles. The foul poles at Dodger Stadium are 130 feet high. Here's the pitch to Jerry Grody on the hands. He jammed him. A little foul up along first. Haller in a hurry. He's got it. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 left. At the end of 3.5, Mets 2, Dodgers nothing. Well, you know, we Americans have many traditions, some large, some so small you probably never think of them unless they're missing. Like, have you ever gone to a movie theater and found they don't have popcorn? Well, it's just not right, is it? You just should have a big box of hot buttered popcorn at the movies. And Thanksgiving certainly wouldn't be Thanksgiving without turkey, cranberries, pumpkin pie. Or if you're camping, what about hot dogs and baked beans and hot dogs at the ballpark, right? Of course, at a baseball game, a man has to have something cold to go with that hot dog. How about a good ice-cold beer? To my way of thinking, that beer's got to be a Bergie. It's as important as that Thanksgiving pumpkin pie tasting a good ice-cold beer. To my way of thinking, that beer's got to be a Bergie. It's as important as that Thanksgiving pumpkin pie tasting just like Mother used to make. Well, what's so special about Bergie? I guess it's that light, easygoing taste. It's comfortable. So comfortable you can keep on drinking it even if the game goes into extra innings. I guess that's a pretty darn good way to judge a beer. So go ahead, open up a Bergie to go along with the ball game. After all, baseball and Bergie's practically a tradition. In fact, might even put that ahead of Mom's pumpkin pie. As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning with the Mets leading the Dodgers 2-0, Don Beamsley playing a little lullaby music in the background. On the message board, nice to have with us, seeing his first game as a grandfather, Danny Thomas. And he is a grandfather and the proud granddaddy of a bouncing baby girl. By the way, we have inadvertently started something when we innocently asked Red Patterson at the other end of the press box just how high the foul poles are at Dodger Stadium. Red checked and called back and told us 130 feet high. So we told you. And then about 30 seconds later, the phone rang and he said, make it 102. Well, they're debating as to how tall the foul poles are, but Clendenin cleared one. That's how high he hit it. Okay, here's Will. Gentry's pitch is sinker, swung on and missed, 0-1. I guess if you are the type who does too much thinking, Gary Gentry is just the kind of pitcher you don't want to see tonight. The strike one pitch to Will, a bunt. Down to get it, Gentry. Bare hand pickup, throws him out. The Dodgers are facing a pitcher who has not won a game in over 6 weeks. And you know, sooner or later you start saying to yourself, well, the law of averages. So Gentry has not allowed a hit. He's in the fourth inning, and the Mets are leading 2-0. Here's Manny Mota. Rolled out to Ken Boswell in the first inning, and on deck, Willie Davis. So Mota at the plate, trying to get the Dodgers started. Gentry into the windup. The right-hander delivers, low and away. Ball one. Gary Gentry, looking for his 10th victory. He's lost 11. The 1-0 pitch, a change over. Ooh, a good pitch. 1-1. Gentry into the windup. And the pitch to Mota, low and goes to the screen, and the count ball 2, 2-1. Gary Gentry was a big man on campus at Arizona State. In 1967, he won 17 and lost 1 in college, won 16 in a row, and then won the title in the College World Series. He's only been pitching professionally since 67. Mota takes high, ball 3. Gary was signed by a fellow who played some fine first base in the big leagues and at one time was Dodger property, D. Fondy. So Gary Edward Gentry leading the Dodgers 2-0 in the fourth. Right-hander's 3-1 pitch to Mota. A looper back to first base. Clendenin down the line. He's not going to get it. It drops for a hit, and Mota will hold on at first base as Clendenin gets the ball back into Harrelson. So a bloop single for Manny Mota, and the batter is Willie Davis. If you are rooting for Willie Davis right now to extend his streak, in other words, if you're not that interested about the outcome of the game right now, there are 2 ways to look at Mota getting a base hit. With Mota being held on by Clendenin, that opens up the right side of the infield a bit and gives Willie an edge. However, and it is a big however, with Willie's speed, they can get a force play on a ball that might otherwise be a hit. So that bloop single by Mota could be a hindrance, could be a blessing, we'll see. Gentry delivers, Willie pokes it foul off to the left second deck in the count 0-1. He didn't really get the bat off his shoulder. 29 games in a row. The only way to appreciate a hitting streak is to have tried to hit. And if Ted Williams says that's the toughest thing in athletics, well, I'll go along with him. 0-1 to Willie Davis. Gentry at the belt, and the strike one pitch to Willie Davis. Taken away, 1-1. Another thing, of course, the odds against you getting a hit. Every time you make contact, if you're a 300 hitter and you are considered a great hitter, that means you make out 7 out of 10 times. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Gentry delivers. Fastball hit foul off third. Out of play. 1-2. There are several other things that make a hitting streak that much more marvelous. It is 1 man against 9. It is also 1 man who must hit the ball in fair territory, but he can be retired by the defense in foul. So the books are really stacked against the hitter. 1-2 to Davis. 2-0 Mets, 4th inning, 1 out. Clendenin holding the bag on Mota, and Willie asks for time, granted by Landis. All right, Davis back up to the plate. Gentry at the belt. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball outside. Ball 2. 2-2. And there is another problem to consider about prolonging and extending a hitting streak. Not getting a pitch to hit where you might walk. So Willie facing and meeting the challenge tonight. 2-2 the count. Right-hander Gentry delivers. Davis swings and misses. Strike 3. Good breaking ball. Dropped down and in, and down he goes. Okay, 2 out. And Wes Parker the batter. Parker flied to left field in the 2nd inning. The Dodgers have their hands full of Gentry, boy. He has allowed 1 hit, and that was a fluke single to right field. Parker waiting with 2 out. Gentry has a look over at Mota. Checks him with a head bob, and now works Parker and misses low. Ball 1. Mota does not do too much base stealing. He has stolen 5 as a Dodger. He takes his lead, held on by Clendenin. Gentry ready, the 1-0 pitch. Parker takes low, ball 2. 2-0. On deck, Willie Crawford. Gentry straddling the rubber, now right foot on. Gary at the belt, looks at Mota, and the 2-0 pitch. Parker hits a bouncer over the mound. Boswell has the ball, turns, throws back to first, too late, and in the dirt. Boswell, it appeared from here, was desperately trying to tell Bud Harrelson not to go after the ball. As Boswell broke to his right, he appeared to point with his right hand to the bag, meaning, I'll throw it there, because Parker runs too fast to go the other way. But Harrelson, instead of going to the bag, never did see Boswell's gesture, and Bud went behind the second baseman. So when Boswell picked up the ball, he had to make the off-balance hurry throw to first and couldn't do it. So it's a hit for Parker, 2 on, 2 out, and here is Crawford. Gentry, a look at the runners. The right-hander delivers, down and away, ball 1. Gary Gentry will not be 23 until October. When you talk about the young, strong arms on the Mets squad, boy, they have got a group of them. 22 years old. The 1-0 pitch to Crawford. Inside under the hands, ball 2. 2-0. Gentry was quite choosy as to playing in the big leagues. He had been drafted first by the Baltimore Orioles. He said no. The Houston Astros. He said no. San Francisco Giants. He said no, sir. Staying in college. And then went with the Mets. The 2-0 pitch. Crawford swings and doesn't get it. 2-1. So a bloop single to right and a scratch single to the second baseman. The Dodger attack here in the 4th inning. Gentry hands at his sides. Crawford waiting. Now the 2-1 pitch on the way to the Dodger right fielder. Foul back to the screen and wedging into the screen. And the count 2-2. Gentry and Grody, with the infield of Clendenin and Boswell, Harrelson and Garrett, Shamsky, Agee, and Swoboda in the outfield. And the Mets lead 2-0 on 2 home runs by Don Clendenin. Gentry set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. And down goes Crawford and the Dodgers in the 4th inning. No runs, just 2 scratch singles and 2 left. And at the end of 4, Mets 2, Dodgers nothing. Friends, baseball season is also the season for picnics, campouts, patio parties, and easy, quick-to-prepare suppers. And Farmer John can add a lot to the fun of your warm weather feasting with his fresher-than-fresh Farmer John luncheon meats. There's Farmer John all-meat bologna, Farmer John sliced cooked ham, Farmer John liverwurst, Braunschweiger, salami, and many more. Pick your favorites, and they're sure to please, because Farmer John luncheon meats are made with the very best meat, fresh eastern corn-fed pork, and fresh, lean, juicy homegrown beef. Like all his products, Farmer John luncheon meats are always strictly fresh, and all, remember, were gold medal winners at the California State Fair. You know, Farmer John bacon and Farmer John ham, but now discover Farmer John's luscious luncheon meats. Look for Farmer John luncheon meats in the delicatessen section of your favorite market. And if you can't find what you're looking for, be sure to ask for it, and in a loud, clear voice, Farmer John. Through 4 innings, the Mets 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. As far as scores of other games are concerned, nothing new. The Cubs completed and won a game in which they were leading back in June, 5-4. And then the Cubs, for good measure, won the schedule game, beating Cincinnati 8-2. Houston beat the Cardinals 7-6. They're scoreless in the bottom of the 4th, Philadelphia at San Diego. Breaking ball inside to Bud Harrelson, ball 1. In New York, guaranteed there are 2 very tired ball clubs, Seattle and New York. They played a doubleheader yesterday and a night game tonight. The 1-0 pitch, big chopper to the left of Wills. He's at it right near the bag and throws him out. Yesterday, in the second game of their doubleheader, Seattle and New York went 13 innings. So, with the 9 in the first game, they played 22 innings of baseball. They're in the bottom of the 14th inning tonight. So they'll have played 36 innings, the equivalent of 4 games, in a little more than 24 hours. The pitch is swung on and missed by pitcher Gary Gentry, 0-1. The Angels had a rough day in Washington. Washington beat them 2-0, and then the second game went 5.5 innings, curtailed because of rain, and Washington won that game 3-2. Oakland, Boston rained out. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Outside, 1-1. Kansas City beat Detroit 6-2. Minnesota over Cleveland 5-2. And Chicago leading Baltimore 9-3. Bottom of the 8th. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 2. 1-2. Gary Gentry has 6 hits this year in 55 at-bats. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fast one fouled into the dirt. Don Clendenin homered to right center in the first inning, hit a towering smash into the second deck in left field in the 4th, and the Mets lead the Dodgers 2-0. One-two pitch to Gentry. Fastball got him. Swinging, down he goes. And we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Taking care of your car is the prime concern of the trained technicians at Hiram Kennedy Shell, 5601 East Exeter, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank of Americard.
KTAR Phoenix.
Here's Tommy Agee. Agee flied deep to right. Crawford caught it just about on the track. And then in the third inning, hit one off Sutton's glove, deflected to Wills, and Morey made a fine play to throw him out. So Agee is 0 for 2. Sutton into the windup. Right-hander's off-speed pitch is swung on and missed, so Agee way out in front of it. 0-1. If you've just joined us, Mets lead 2-0. Willie Davis is 0 for 2. Grounded to short and struck out. Strike one pitch to Agee. Good breaking ball. Strike two. 0-2. Dodgers have won 3 out of 4 from New York here. The Mets have won 7 out of 10 overall. Here's the strike two pitch to Tommy Agee. Right down the pipe, and Agee, guessing breaking ball, just caught looking at a fastball that cut the heart out of the plate. So the Mets are gone, and Sutton has a half a dozen strikeouts, and at the end of 4.5 innings, Mets 2, Dodgers nothing.
Camp West Industries, located at 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix, is camper headquarters in the Valley. It's the home of Tramper Camper, the quality-built camper that offers more for your camper dollar, and the beautiful Travette, the Cadillac of campers. Camp West features many accessories for your camper. In fact, everything that goes in, on, or around a camper. If the call of the desert, a rushing stream, tall pines, and the outdoors is your pleasure, a camper is the answer. Build your own. Camp West Industries has everything you need to do just that. But whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or prefer the ready-made type for quality campers and camper accessories, the place to see is Camp West at 2802 Grand Avenue. Easy to get to, just north of Thomas Road and a block west of Black Canyon Freeway on Grand Avenue. Camp West is open 6 days a week, Monday through Friday till 9, Saturday till 5. So before you buy your camper, see Camp West, your volume camper dealer. For quality, price, and service, that's Camp West Industries, 2802 Grand Avenue in Phoenix.
Bottom of the 5th inning, the Mets 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Bill Sudeikis, Tom Haller, and Ted Sizemore trying to find a solution to Gary Gentry. Gentry allowed just 2 squib singles, a bloop single to right field by Mota, just over the head of Don Clendenin and tucked inside the right field foul line, and a ground ball that Parker legged out for a hit. Sudeikis hitting left-handed. Gentry's first one, check swing, and the pitch low, ball 1. Gentry looks out at the scoreboard and then back to Landis. Then turns as if to say, won't someone call it a strike? But Landis had already looked at the umpires on the lines. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball in there for a strike. 1-1. Pitch on the way to Sudeikis. Off speed and in there, strike two. Boy, he's had a good off-speed pitch tonight, and of course that complements the fastball. He's not overpowering the hitters. He only has 2 strikeouts, but he's really working that home plate to pieces. He's not a big fella. He's just 6, 175 pounds. But at 22, he figures to get much bigger. The next one is pop foul, out of play. 1-2, the count to Bill Sudeikis. Gentry's 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit to center, blooping for a base hit. Sudeikis was out in front of it, hit it off the end of the stick, nudged it to center. Base hit number 3 for the Dodgers, and here is catcher Tom Haller. Tom Haller flied to center in the 3rd inning. Ted Sizemore on deck. Sudeikis off the bag, held on by Clendenin. Gary Gentry reading signs, flashed out by Grody. Gary ready and delivers, and Haller takes that off-speed pitch for a strike. Boy, he's got a dandy working. 0-1. Gentry, a look over at Sudeikis. Now the strike 1 pitch to Haller. Inside, tight to the knees to drive him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gentry has walked one. That was Sizemore back in the third. He's allowed 3 hits. No runs, and the Mets lead 2-0 in the fifth. Gary ready, checking, and the 1-1 pitch. Haller after it, fouls it away off to the left, and it'll carry out of play second deck. 1-2. Gentry, another check of Sudeikis. The 1-2 pitch to Haller. Fastball got him swinging. But boy, he sets him up. And down goes Haller. He has 4 strikeouts, and he's gotten 3 in the last 3 outs. Here's Ted Sizemore, walked in the third inning. Ted has hit safely in 18 of his last 20 games. And a lot of them have been clutch hits. Ted backs out for the moment. 1 out, 5th inning, 2-0 Mets. Don Clendenon has hit 2 home runs, and that's the story. Gentry looks at Sudeikis, comes to Sizemore, and the breaking ball gets the outside corner, 0-1. Sizemore started the evening hitting .274. Only 3 regulars who are out hitting Sizemore: Mota, Davis, and Parker. Strike 1 pitch to Ted. Low, 1-1. Tomorrow night, Claude Osteen. For the Mets, maybe Jerry Koosman. One and one, the count is Sizemore. And Sudeikis fakes, and Ted hits a high pop fly. Out for it is Harrelson calling. He's under it now and makes the catch for the out. So Sizemore pops up, 2 down, and Don Sutton the batter. Sutton has pitched well, but he can't get around Clendenon. The big first baseman has hit 2 out on him, and that's the story. As a batter, he popped up in the third inning, 0 for 1. Gentry to his stretch, has a look at Sudeikis, and decides to drive him back with a throw. Sudeikis is not considered a man with good running speed, though he's rarely involved in any base-stealing thefts, and particularly, it's doubtful he'd try with a pitcher up there. He has stolen 2 bases in 3 attempts. Gentry, watching him, now works Sutton and a slow curve over for a strike, and Sutton had already transferred most of his weight to the front foot, and there wasn't a thing he could do but just watch it come over. 0-1. Strike 1 pitch to Don. Fastball grounded down to second base. Boswell up with it. Goes over to Clendenon, and that's that. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. At the end of 5, Mets 2, Dodgers nothing.
Hey, Stan Kenton, who do you look up to when you want to give a new tune your own personal style?
I look to our Rangers. They know our approach and the way we look at things musically and can almost make any tune work.
Hey, Stan Kenton, who do you look up to when your car is out of tune?
I look up to 76. The maestro at my Union 76 station and his band of certified servicemen have what it takes to make an engine sing.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. For product and service that you want to choose, look up to 76.
Look up to 76 for products and services to keep your car in perfect tune. The people at Union 76 have even worked up an arrangement to help you pay your bill. It's called 76 Revolving Credit. That sounds like a helpful note.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
Through 5 innings, the Mets 2 runs, 3 hits, and no errors. But actually, it was Don Clendenon who was at 2 home runs into the seats in right center and a smash over the left field foul pole. The Dodgers no runs, 3 hits. Squibb singles by Mota and Parker in the 4th inning, and a looping single to center by Sudeikis in the 5th. The Dodgers have not hit the ball hard in 5 innings against Gary Gentry. On the message board in left field, they are saluting our centennial celebrity for tonight. It will take a while because he was around and played exceptionally well. And to list all of his accomplishments means that we will probably go right into the play-by-play until they flash his name. Stan Landis, helpfully, will consume a little time as he brings a new ball to play and walks it out to Don Sutton. Wayne Garrett, then Don Clendenin, and Art Shamsky. Stan Landis throwing the old ball out, so Sutton is still warming up, and that helps to get all of the man's accomplishments on the board and not interfere with play. And it goes on and on and on. Nothing new on the scoreboard. I think Stan Landis has been taking time because now we are coming to the player's name, now a coach, formerly a manager. Sutton and everybody else stand aside. It's for Yogi Berra. Who has always been a popular player, getting an ovation from the crowd and the kids on the team. And now Sutton figures it's time to go to work. And the first pitch to Garrett, a strike, 0-1. Yogi out of the hill section of St. Louis. Here's a strike 1 pitch on the way. Curve swung on and missed, strike 2. 2 young Italian catchers from the Italian section of St. Louis, Joe Garagiola and Yogi Berra. And Lawrence Yogi Berra turned out to be one of the all-timers. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Sutton's fastball is stroked to center. Base hit. Davis up to play it on a hop. And here comes Don Clendenin. Sutton gave up a home run to Clendenin when the big right-hand hitting first baseman hit the bleachers in right center. And then the last time up, he hit one of the highest home runs in history here. He takes high, ball 1. Clendenin hit it higher than the foul pole, and that's, well, 102 feet. I guess we'll settle for that. So Don is 2 for 2, both home runs. Sutton wishing Clendenin was a centennial celebrity as he looks in to get a sign. Now at the belt, the 1-0 pitch to Don. Half swing, he held up, it's going to cost him a strike anyway. Yogi Berra is angry. He's arguing with Billy Williams. Eddie Yost sent a few verbal messages out of the third base coaching box, and the count 1-1 to Clendenin. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. 1-2. Oh, by the way, remember we told you about the weary Seattle Pilots and the New York Yankees? How they had played 22 innings of baseball yesterday? Now Seattle got a run to take the lead in the 13th inning tonight. In fact, the 14th inning tonight, well, the Yankees just got it back. They're going to the 15th inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Clendenin. Half swing, a tapper up along third. Sutton down, picks it up, and throws him out. So Clendenin, trying to check his swing, is thrown out by Sutton. And on the play, Garrett moves to second base. And with 1 out, Art Shamsky the batter. Shamsky has popped up and walked. He's 0 for 1. Mets 2, Dodgers nothing, 6th inning. And now Sutton tying the laces on that right shoe again. The last time the laces loosened, Clendenin hit one over the foul pole, and I guess they just began to loosen again when Clendenin came up to hit for the 3rd time. So Shamsky waiting for him. Garrett at second base, 1 out on the 6th, 2-0 New York. Sutton at the belt now works the left-hand batter high, ball 1. By the way, when the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, Maury Wills, Manny Mota, and Willie Davis. And if you have not been with us since the start of the night, Willie is 0 for 2. Sutton looks at second, works the plate, and misses high, ball 2. On deck, second baseman Ken Boswell. 2 runs, 4 hits for New York. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Sutton looks back at Garrett. Pickoff throw to Wills, but not in time. Garrett did not have a big lead. 2 balls and no strikes to Shamsky. Art tripled high off the right field wall yesterday. He can shoot that ball out in a hurry. He takes a big overhand curve low, ball 3. 3-0. Sutton pitching very carefully to Shamsky. He has not been wild, although he did walk 2 in the 4th inning. So he's trying to hit edges against Shamsky, and they decide, let's not monkey around, let's put him on. So with first base open, they will walk Shamsky intentionally, 1 more wide one. And then that run is at first and second with 1 out, and Ken Boswell will be the batter. Boswell singled to left and struck out. He's 1 for 2. Sutton is 0-2 with the Mets this year. Each time in his defeats, he allowed 3 earned runs. Don checks the runners. Right-hander delivers, and the fastball is whacked into right. The run is held for a split second, so they're going to hold Garrett at third base, and the bases are loaded. The runners hesitated on the line drive for just a fraction of a second, but that was enough to take away a run. So the bases are loaded, 1 out, and the Maryland strong boy, Ron Swoboda, coming up. So Don Sutton in a jam, trying to fight his way out of it. And the Dodger bullpen immediately stirs around. Joe Moeller is the first man to get up. So everywhere Sutton looks, there is a member of the Mets. Boswell, Shamsky, and Garrett with 1 out in the 6th inning, and the Mets leading 2-0, and here's Swoboda. Pitch to Ron. Breaking ball, swung out and missed, 0-1. Swoboda has struck out and walked. It was Swoboda who helped beat the Dodgers the Sunday in New York when he doubled with the bases loaded against Jim Brewer. Big, strong right-hand batter. Strike 1 pitch. Fastball inside as he dropped to his knees. 1-1. The way Gentry is pitching, the Dodgers can ill afford the Mets to score much in this inning. Don heaves a sigh, checks Haller. Now the 1-1 pitch to Swoboda. Fastball belted to right center field, slicing away from Willie Davis, and this one is going to be off the wall. In comes Garrett. In comes Shamsky, both of them, and they get the third man, Boswell. But into third base goes Swoboda. Shamsky is not a fast runner, and Boswell almost ran up his back. Had the throw been a second earlier, Haller might have tagged 2 men out at the plate. But instead, the throw came after Shamsky, but in time to get Boswell. So it is 4-0 in favor of New York. 2 scored and a man out at the plate. As Swoboda again has unloaded against the Dodgers. He gets a double and 2 RBIs, and he goes to third on the throw to the plate. Shamsky runs like a man who has bad feet, and we're not making fun of him. He runs flat-footed. Boswell might have been able to score on the ball if there wasn't Shamsky in front of him. So it is 4-0 New York. Boy, that was crowded at home plate. Here's Grody. He fouls one at the plate, 0-1. The only time I ever saw anything like that was I saw two Dodgers in a rundown trying to score at the same time, Jackie Robinson and Gil Hodges. But there they were. In fact, it looked like they were connected. Shamsky and right behind him, Boswell. Would have been better if it was Boswell and Johnson. Here's the strike one pitch. Fastball inside under the hand, 1-1. So Shamsky scores, Boswell is out, 2 down, 4-0 New York. Sutton into the windup and the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball and a high fly ball to Mota in left field. Manny just about under it now and makes the catch for the out. However, the damage is done. The Mets get 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 left, and a man out of the plate. And at the end of 5.5 innings, the Mets 4 and the Dodgers nothing. Say, I've got a question for you right now. How many home runs did the Dodgers hit last year? Yeah, I don't have any idea myself. That's a tough question to answer without a record book. But here's a suggestion. While you're thinking about it, pop open a can of Schlitz malt liquor. Why Schlitz malt liquor? Well, for openers, anything you're doing is a little more enjoyable with Schlitz malt liquor because it's got a big, bold kind of taste that zaps through a summer thirst. You see, Schlitz malt liquor is specially brewed to keep its boldness even when you ice it way down. It's a fact. Extreme cold actually dulls the taste of a lot of other brews. But it only makes Schlitz malt liquor taste that much better, that much bolder. And what else do you drink malt liquor for anyway? Say, next time you're out picking up the goodies for the weekend, don't forget, Schlitz malt liquor. Just look for the bull on the label. Let you know you've grabbed onto the biggest malt liquor around. Schlitz malt liquor. Nobody makes malt liquor like Schlitz. Oh, by the way, the Dodgers hit 67 home runs last year, 42 on the road, 25 at home. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Mets 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers no runs, 3 hits, no errors. And we have come up to another one of those innings. Wills, Mota, Davis. Wills has struck out and was thrown out by Gentry when he tried to bunt his way aboard in the 4th inning. The pitch to Morey, slow and high, ball 1. Garrett plays him in on the grass. The outfield shaded to left with Shamsky guarding the line. 1-0 the count. Gentry into the windup, the 1-0 pitch. Fastball hit down to Harrelson at short. Butt up with it and throws Wills out. 1 away, and Manny Mota the batter.
Manny Mota, left field.
Mota has grounded out and singled to right. 1 for 2. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Mets. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 6th inning. And Willie Davis waiting his turn. Gentry into the windup, and the pitch to Mota. Line drive and a leaping one-hand catch by Harrelson, and he really didn't have to go too high to get it. 2 down, and here comes Willie again, another date with the record. In the 1st inning, Willie might have been pressing. It's hard to sit up here and judge somebody, but you try and think of any human reaction to a tough situation. He went after a change that might have been outside. He went after a pitch up around the shoulders and grounded to short. And then in the 4th inning, he struck out. So he's 0 for 2. A glittering 29-game hitting streak on the line. Gary Gentry ready in the right-hander's pitch. Is a fly ball into left center field. Shamsky and A.G. It's going to drop. And Willie is going into second with a double. He's done it. you do not interpret this as an intrusion of somebody's privacy. We don't mean that at all. We are just trying to capture a little extra something in the scene. Willie Davis hit a fly ball into left center. Shamsky does not run well enough to get there. Tommy Agee ran as if his life depended on it, but it dropped in for the double. The crowd went wild except, and that was the man I wanted to watch. And again, I hope this is no intrusion of privacy, but I was interested to see what he would do if and when that record was broken. Here is Parker. He takes a strike. Casey Stengel, who was Zach Wheat's teammate, who knew Zach intimately, who has been everywhere and seen everything. And, of course, Casey has just about understood personal accomplishments in this game of baseball. Here's a strike one pitch to Parker. In there, strike two. Casey is eating, I guess you'd call it a frozen malted or a chocolate malted. He never missed a mouthful. The crowd stood and roared, and Casey, perhaps hearkening back to 1916, quietly eating away. And there's a note on the board from Zach Wheat. Here's the strike two pitch to Parker, inside ball one. Congratulations, keep going. You've done a real job. Good luck. From Sunrise Beach, Missouri, signed Zach Wheat. And Casey Stengel saw that one, and he's here tonight. You just wonder sometimes, how Casey felt about a kid breaking the old Dodger mark of a fellow I'm sure he knew, played with, and loved. It's all part of the game. So Davis has done it. He's hit in 30 straight. The 1-2 pitch to Parker. Line drive, base hit, and now the Dodgers are trying to get in the ballgame as Davis scores on a long single by Parker. Davis being greeted by his teammates, and they're all over him in the dugout because they know how difficult it is to get a hit in 30 straight. So he's in the dugout. Parker's at first. It's 4-1 New York, and a change to Crawford is high. Individual accomplishments swept aside now. The Dodgers are trailing by 3, and they're in a wild pennant race. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Crawford. Willie takes the strike at the knees, 1-1. There are all kinds of notes, and I'm sure you well imagine the study, but we're not going to get them in the way now as to who did what, when, where. Let's just let it go right now that Willie has hit in 30 in a row. Crawford takes in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. If we don't get any time during the actual play-by-play, well, then we can drop it in on the post-game show. But we just don't want to get in the way of the ballgame. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Mets. 1 run, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 2-1. The count to Willie Crawford. Parker at first. 2 out, a run over. 4-1 New York. Gentry set. Right-hander ready. And the pitch to Crawford. Ground ball to the hole at short. Off the left leg of Harrelson. Everybody's safe. That struck Bud Harrelson on the left leg and caromed off to the left. We're waiting for the scoring, and it goes as a hit. I'll say one thing, and we love the ground crew here at Dodger Stadium, but that left side of the infield is about as tough an area as there is in the National League. We have seen balls go crazy. Here's Bill Sudeikis. All right, 2 on, 2 out, 4-1 New York in the 6th, and Sudeikis at the plate. The Mets move around in the bullpen. There'll be someone throwing in a moment. Ron Taylor, the right-hander, is up. Gentry to his stretch. Sudeikis waiting. Gary Reddy delivers. Fastball fouled away. 0-1. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
You can charge your purchases and take many months to pay at Conditioned Air Company, 511 East Mojave, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Bank America card.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
2 down here in the 6th inning. You remember Wills grounded to short. Mota hit a line drive caught by Harrelson. Then Davis doubled to left center. Parker singled to right center, and Crawford a bad hop single to short. Broad left side of the infield is about as tough an area as there is in the National League. We have seen balls go crazy. Here's Bill Sudeikis. All right, 2 on, 2 out, 4-1 New York in the 6th, and Sudeikis at the plate. The Mets move around in the bullpen. There'll be someone throwing in a moment. Ron Taylor, the right-hander, is up. Gentry to his stretch. Sudeikis waiting. Gary Reddy delivers. Fastball fouled away. 0-1. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
You can charge your purchases and take many months to pay at Conditioned Air Company, 511 East Mojave, Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Bank America card.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
2 down here in the 6th inning. You remember Wills grounded to short. Mota hit a line drive caught by Harrelson. Then Davis doubled to left center. Parker singled to right center, and Crawford a bad hop single to short. 0-1 to Sudeikis. And Gentry off the rubber. Gary to his stretch. The strike 1 pitch to Sudeikis. Fastball is hit high and foul off first. Big Clendenin to the auxiliary scoreboard and can't get it. He's not that tall. It's back in several rows. And 2 to Bill Sudeikis. Ron Swoboda was hustling so much on that foul ball that was almost caught by Clendenin that Swoboda left his cap back in right field. The boys are really scrambling. 0-2, the count to Bill Sudeikis. 2 on, 2 out. 4-1 New York in the 6th. Sudeikis has grounded to third, single to center. Gentry off the rubber. And now as he gets on, Sudeikis out of the box. Here's the strike 2 pitch to Sudeikis. Fast curve is swung on and fouled away. And he got that on his right foot. So Sudeikis hit by, in fact, the left foot, which is rare. Yeah, left foot. That means he was a little late with his swing because 99.9 times out of 100, if a big leaguer hits himself with a foul ball, it's on his front foot. 0-2 to Bill Sudeikis. Gary Gentry ready, delivers. Fastball is grounded down to Boswell. He juggles, recovers, gets it. So the Dodgers get a run on 3 hits, and you can spread the word. Willie Davis has set a Dodger record as he has hit safely in 30 in a row. And, of course, his next challenge tomorrow night, and, of course, the National League record, 37 in a row. At the end of 6, the Mets 4, the Dodgers 1. Well, friends, 1969 will be remembered as the year of expansion, not only in baseball, but also in business. Almost every day you read where some company or other is expanding into a business completely different from what they've been doing. But not Farmer John. Farmer John just goes on doing what he does best, providing you with pork products as fine and fresh as you can buy. Farmer John goes back to the Corn Belt for fresh eastern corn-fed pork and brings it out here live. And then it's U.S. inspected and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other pork comes in frozen or cold storage. Farmer John takes the time to smoke his ham, bacon, and wieners the slow, old-time Western way to give them a wonderful Western flavor all their own. And to all his products, he adds an extra ingredient, extra care. So look for Farmer John products in the meat department and the delicatessen section of your market. And if you can't find what you want, well, speak up and join the club. There's nobody like it. Farmer John. Through 6 innings, the Mets 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. As we go to the 7th, for more play-by-play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and Bud Harrelson, the shortstop, coming on. He has grounded out twice to shortstop tonight, 0 for 2. Gary Gentry on deck. We're in the 7th inning, the game rolling along, and the Dodgers trail 4-1 as Sutton goes to the windup. Bunt foul off to the left, strike one. The big blow now has been struck by Ron Swoboda, who doubled to drive in two with the bases loaded in the sixth inning. 2 home runs by Clendenin got the Mets their other 2 runs. 1 strike count to Harrelson, switch hitter batting from the left. Sudeikis plays in at third on the grass. The pitch, fly ball along the left field line. Mota going over across the line, waiting under it now, and makes the catch for the out. So Harrelson out on a foul ball to Mota in left field. Here's Gary Gentry, the pitcher, coming on, and Gary has pitched well. He's allowed 6 hits, but only 1 run to the Dodgers. 3 of the hits came in the 6th inning. Willie Davis kept his string alive with that double, and he has set a new all-time Dodger record. Gentry, right-hand batter. Sutton delivers a fastball, bounce to third. Sudeikis in, up with it. Here's his play across in time, 2 out. So 2 up and 2 down, and the batter will be leadoff man Tommy Agee, who has gone 0 for 3. Agee, the batter, hitting .281. He had 4 hits in yesterday's game. Tom coming on. The Mets' leading hitter, Cleon Jones, will probably miss the entire series. He has a bruise on his wrist. Cleon can't swing the bat. Agee coming up. 4-1 score. The Mets lead. We're in the 7th. The Dodgers bat in the bottom of the inning. Haller, Sizemore, and Sutton spot. We've had some action down in the Dodger bullpen. They're swinging a line drive down the left field line. Foul ball. Bounces up and out of the stands. And Mota comes in to retrieve it. Strike 1 count to Agee. Nice crowd on hand tonight. We hope you'll make your plans to be here tomorrow night when the Dodgers and the Mets wind it up for the year. Here's Sutton to the windup, and the pitch on the way to Agee. A half swing for strike. 0-2 to Tom. The game is in the top of the 7th inning. The Mets picked up a run in the first, a run in the 4th. Those were home runs by Clendenin, and then 2 in the 6th inning. Curve low for ball, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Once again, Don Sutton checking signs. The windup and the pitch. Curveball is swung on him. This strike 3. Struck him out to retire the side. 7 strikeouts for Sutton. The Mets are gone in order. And at the end of 6.5 innings of play, New York 4 and the Dodgers 1.
Your man at Alcoa, Rod Wilson, Jr. Executive, is Army ROTC trained. Top-notch companies such as Alcoa look for college graduates who can organize, motivate, and lead men. And that's precisely the kind of training Army ROTC gives you. So when you fulfill your military obligation, you'll have a foundation in leadership that'll give you a big edge in your career. If you're a junior college graduate or a college sophomore, you can take Army ROTC and get your officer's commission in just 2 years. See your guidance counselor or the professor of military science at any ROTC college. Ask for details and the deadline date for applications. Let Army ROTC train you to be a leader and prime you for a career. It pays off. Just ask Rod Wilson at Alcoa.
Last of the 7th inning. Tom Haller, Ted Sizemore. We'll see about Don Sutton's spot as the Mets lead 4-1 behind Gary Gentry, trying to get his first win since July. His record is 9-11. Haller at bat has struck out and flied out, so he's 0 for 2. Well, it's finally over in New York in the American League. The Yankees scored a run in the bottom of the 15th inning to beat Seattle 5-4. So they can finally say goodnight. It's 12:38 in New York. Tom Haller waiting now as Gentry delivers a fastball high. 1 ball and no strike. 15 innings in New York tonight. waiting as Gentry checks signs again with catcher Jerry Grody. The windup in the pitch, swung on and fouled away off to the left in the stands. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Haller at bat, Sizemore on deck, and Sutton to follow. Tom takes a curve up high, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now again the windup in the pitch. Fastball is inside, ball 3, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Haller starting it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now the pitch on the way. In for strike 3-2. Full count now. Gentry has walked 1, has struck out 4. Sutton has struck out 7, walked 3, 1 intentional. 3-2 to Haller. Tom batting .264. Here's the pitch on the way. Ground ball is back behind second base and through into center field. Harris went over, thought the ball would come up for him, but he did not. It went on under his glove in the center, a base hit. Hit number 7 for the Dodgers, who now lead in hits, but trailing runs 4-1 as Ted Sizemore comes up with Gabrielson coming out on deck. So here's Teddy. He popped up and walked in 2 tries. Don Sutton due up next, but Gabrielson out in his spot, and Sizemore now trying to keep the Dodgers going. That's 4 hits out of the last 5 batters for the Dodgers. Sudeikis had grounded out to end the inning in the 6th. Now the pitch to Sizemore, breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strike. Gentry got behind Haller, and now he starts off behind to Sizemore, and we have a right-hander and a left-hander now working in the bullpen for New York. Here's the look in the pitch. Up in for strike, and it's 1-1. Taylor and McGraw in the bullpen. Ron Taylor and Tug McGraw for the Mets out in right field. 1-1 count as Gentry checks. Here's the pitch on the way to Ted. Low, ball 2, 2-1. So a 2-1 count now. First base. They did not hold him on. 2-1 pitch to Sizemore. Swung and popped up into center field. Tommy Agee coming in for it. Tommy is right there waiting and makes the catch. So Sizemore hits it in the air. 1 away, and the batter now will be Len Gabrielson coming on to bat for Sutton with Wills on deck and Moto to follow. Gabrielson is hitting .287 with 1 homer and 16 runs batted in. So Sutton leaves. He worked 7 innings, allowed 4 runs and 6 hits. 2 home runs by Clendenon and a big double by Swoboda. So the Mets actually have 3 key hits in the game, and Swoboda's double was the clincher in the 6th inning as far as Sutton is concerned. It came with the bases loaded. So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Gabe up now. Bottom of the 7th inning. Now Gary Gentry, the young right-hander, checking signs. Here's the look at first and the pitch. Swung on a hit foul off the left side and down to the lower stand. Strike 1 to Gabrielson. 0-1 the count. Gabe waits. Now once more the stretch and the look and the pitch on the way. Off speed, low. 1-1. A change up that time, down low. 4-1. The Mets lead. Second game of the series. Gentry checking signs again as Haller moves off first base. Off speed again, this time outside, ball 2, 2-1. Pitch to Gabe is a strike on a fastball, 2-2. He hit the outside corner with it. Haller back at the bag at first base. Gabe waiting. 2-2 count with one out. Gentry checks the look and the pitch on the way. Ground ball to first base, off Clendenin's glove. Turns underhand toss in time to first base. Gableson out and Haller goes to second. So Clendenin backhanded the ball and knocked it down. That took it out of a little play, but he also was alert enough to recover and make the play on Gableson at first base, throwing to the pitcher. Here's Wills at bat now, with 2 out and Haller on at second base. Wills coming up with Manny Mota on deck and Willie Davis to follow. So Gabe grounds into an out at first base, with Haller taking second. Wills is 0 for 3, struck out, bunted out, and grounded to short. They play up on the corners now against Morey. Slide the outfield a little to the left, and Gentry gets set to work. Here's the pitch on the way. Morey pulls it foul under Gilliam and down the right field line, strike 1. So he got on that one in a hurry and pulled it away. Taylor and McGraw still working in the bullpen for New York, right-hander and a left-hander. 0-1 the count to Wills with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Morey. Chopped to third base, and that's Garrett. Makes his play in time, and the side retires. So Wills bounces out. And the Dodgers are gone in the 7th. No runs, a hit, and 1 left in the score through 7. The Mets 4, and the Dodgers 1.
Hey, Mickey Rooney, who do you look up to when...
Look up to? I look up to everybody.
No. I mean, who do you look up to when you're looking for a motor oil that's made for your high-powered cars?
Oh, that's entirely different. You see, in that case, I look up to 76. You see, they got this new Union Super Motor Oil. It sort of looks down its nose at engine trouble, and it keeps all my cars running like tops.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76. For a product and service that you want to choose, look up to 76.
Union Super Motor Oil is new, made for today's cars, the ones that run hotter and harder than ever. Yesterday's motor oils aren't making it, so Union Super is tougher than it has to be.
For a minute there, I thought you were trying to make trouble.
When you're looking for someone to look after you, look up to 76.
We played 7 innings now. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for New York. 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Joe Moeller comes in to take over now. Don Sutton works 7 innings, allowed 4 runs and 6 hits. Reminded that Danny Goodman's pennant stretch souvenir bargain is available now. A packet of 20 Dodger player photos, a Dodger yearbook, and a 100th anniversary baseball button. All 3 items for $1. To Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, 9/00/12. And don't forget, tickets going fast now for the big homestand that begins when the Dodgers get back off this next road trip, including the twilight doubleheader with Cincinnati on the 16th. So we hope you make your plans. Get your tickets in advance and come out and see some fine baseball down the stretch drive in September. Okay, let's go to the 8th inning. Mets coming up. More play. Here's Vince.
All right, Jerry. Joe Moeller getting ready, loosening up to Tommy Howard. He'll be pitching to Wayne Garrett, Don Clendenin, and Art Shamsky. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for New York. 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers in the 8th. The Dodgers have a chance tonight to go into first place if they win. They could be a point ahead. If they lose, they'll be a game behind. And they're trailing by 3 in the 8th. Wayne Garrett struck out, popped up, and singled. 1 for 3. Joe Moeller ready and delivers. In the first pitch, line drive right at Ted Sizemore for the out. 1 away.
You know, back in the sixth inning, when Willie Davis got his base hit to extend his streak to 30, and we told you how we were watching Casey Stengel for a reaction, and he looked like somebody sitting in a forest grove, everybody around him on their feet hollering and cheering, and Casey calmly eating ice cream of some sort. And we went and checked with a couple of New York writers about Casey and Zach Wheat. The pitch to Don Clendenin high, ball one. The New York writers tell me that Zach Wheat was Casey Stengel's idol. He felt that Zach Wheat was the greatest player that ever lived. Clendenin takes outside, 2-0. Whenever the Mets would play on the road and Zach Wheat might come and visit, why, Stengel would shepherd Zach Wheat around. Zach is 81. So Casey really loved the guy. Here's the pitch to Clendenin, a one-hopper that almost takes Sudeikis with it out into left field. Oh, is he hitting the ball hard. And Mota gets the ball back in. Bill Sudeikis was almost carried into left field by a one-hopper off the bat of Clendenin, who has 2 home runs and a single, and the batter is Art Shamsky. So with that kind of background, knowing the respect and love that Casey Stengel had for Zach Wheat, well, you can understand then why he sat down eating his ice cream, and it must have hurt. Okay, here's Shamsky. And Moeller hadn't fooled anybody. Garrett hit a line drive at Sizemore. Clendenin almost hit one through Sudeikis. And here is Shamsky. He takes the strike. 4-1 Mets in the 8th. Clendenin off the bag, held on by Parker. Moeller delivers. Shamsky takes a breaking ball low, 1-1. Shamsky popped up and walked twice. The last time, Sutton, pitching very carefully, fell behind to him 3-0 and then put him on. And Shamsky was almost sandwiched at the plate in the 6th inning. He was scoring just behind Garrett, and Boswell almost ran up his back, and they got Boswell at the plate. 1-1 to Shamsky. There goes Clendenin. The pitch swung on and missed. Haller's throw. The big man has stolen it. So Don Clendenin steals second base ahead of the tag applied by Will. And the count 1-2 to Art Shamsky. The newest Dodger, the boy who was just purchased from the Washington Senator organization, Wayne Jenkins, nicknamed Jack, right-hander, throwing in the Dodger bullpen. So Jenkins down there in the pen, back of left field. 1-2 the count to Art Shamsky. Moeller a look at Clendenin, and the fastball outside, ball 2-2. When the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 8th, they have Manny Mota, Willie Davis, and Wes Parker. Shamsky waiting. Art is not a fast man. In fact, one break that Willie Davis got tonight was Shamsky playing left field. He grounds one foul. It's pretty hard to say what another man would have done on the same play, but the normal Mets outfield would have had Cleon Jones in left and Agee in center. And on the fly ball that Willie Davis hit into left center, Cleon might have caught it. There was no chance that Shamsky would. So among other things, to keep a streak alive, you've got to be lucky. 2-2 to Art. Moeller, a look back at Clendenin. Will's bird-dogging the big first baseman, and as a comebacker to Moeller, he holds Clendenin and throws Shamsky out. 2 down. Here's Ken Boswell, singled, struck out, singled again. And he was the boy tagged at the plate. That was a memorable play. Shamsky and Boswell trying to score on the double by Swoboda. Shamsky did, and Boswell didn't. Wills again back at Clendenin, and the pitch, a strike, 0-1. Down in the eighth. Mets 4, Dodgers 1. Wills dancing back at Clendenin, and the pitch, a breaking ball low. 1-1. Don Sutton went 7. Now Joe Moeller picking up for him. Wills again fakes to the bag. The pitch of the plate is stroked to center. Willie Davis coming. Plays it on a tricky hop. Barehands it. Throws into the plate. Not in time. The run scores, and into second base goes Boswell. Gee, sitting on a direct line towards center field. That was a remarkable attempt by Willie Davis. The ball hit in front of him and veered sharply to Willie's left. And he barehanded it on one hop and threw to the plate too late. And it is 5-1 New York. Ron Swoboda has struck out, walked, and then put the slug on Sutton when he doubled home 2 in the 6th inning. The pitch low. 2 hits and a run here in the 8th inning for New York. 5-1 Mets. Moeller turns on the rubber. The 1-0 pitch to Swoboda, swung on and missed, 1-1. Tomorrow night, Claude Osteen. And for the Mets, maybe left-hander Jerry Koosman. Swoboda, right-hand hitting right fielder. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ron. Moeller has a look back at second base at Boswell, and the next one in the dirt, scooped out by Haller, ball 2. 2-1. To Ron Swoboda. Moeller's fast one over for a strike, 2-2. 25,676 sitting in at Dodger Stadium saw Willie Davis get a fly ball double in left center to extend his streak to 30. And they see the Mets leading the Dodgers 5-1. Joe Moeller ready, and the 2-2 fastball is swung on and missed, and that'll do it for Swoboda. However, the Mets add a run on 2 hits and leave 1. And at the end of 7.5 innings, the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 1. Well, I'm like you. I listen to the radio a lot, hear an announcer say something about, why don't you go out to the cooler and get yourself a cold you-know-what? And I thought to myself all the times that I've asked you to go for a burgie. You know, we've been giving you an awful lot of good free advice. Well, a little later on, decided to pop open one. Just as good as the first one, maybe even better. Well, it's like we've told you. Burgie's a light, refreshing, comfortable kind of beer. So, right now, why don't you go out to the refrigerator and get yourself a Burgie?
A bright day, so comfortable, just right for a comfortable beer.
Of the 8th inning. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Select gifts with a real meaning, or pamper yourself with something nice from Lawson's Jewelers Incorporated, 3827 East Thomas, 23 Park Central Mall in Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Americard.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Mets leading the Dodgers 5-1, the Mets make a change in left field for defensive purposes. we had mentioned the fact that maybe Cleon Jones, if he were well enough, he might have been in the lineup tonight. So now they need a glove out in left field and a little more speed and coverage. And so Rod Gaspar goes into left field. And at second base, Al Weiss. And the first pitch to Manny Mota is a strike. If we interpreted the gesture by Stan Landis, they're hitting in the positions for the men just vacating the ball game. The pitch fouled away, 0-2. So Gaspar would hit in Shamsky's spot. Weiss would hit in Boswell's spot. Five runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Mets. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Gary Gentry, right-hander ready, delivers, and Mota hits a fly ball to Tommy Agee. Tommy goes back a little bit, under it now, and makes the catch for the out. 1 away. Well, here's Willie Davis. He extended his streak tonight with a double to left center. He's 1 for 3. He now is hit safely in 30 straight. It is the longest hitting streak in the major leagues in 20 years. Stan Musial hit 30 straight for the St. Louis Cardinals way back in 1950. In fact, there have only been 14 men now who have streaks of 30 or more, and one of 11 of modern times. Swings and pops it in the air, foul. Coming back is Grody. Turns now and makes the catch. So Willie fouls out. 2 down in the 8th, and the batter will be Wes Parker. Tomorrow night, Willie Davis tries to march on, and perhaps against Jerry Koosman, Willie will try to go for 31. The National League streak, modern times, 37. Here's Parker, slide to left, and single twice. Infield single in the 4th inning, then a shot to right center that cashed in Willie Davis in the 6th. The 6th inning was the only time the Dodgers were in business against Gentry tonight, and it didn't last too long. Gentry into the windup, and the pitch to Parker. Change over. 0-1. In the 6th, with 1 out, Mota hit a line drive and a one-hand catch by Harrelson. And that was followed by a Davis double, a Parker single, and a Crawford single. But then Gentry slammed the door and got Sudeikis. Fastball is hit down to Al Weiss, the second baseman who gets him, and the Dodgers are gone in order. And at the end of 8, Mets 5, Dodgers 1.
Well, friends, you can spot a ball player by his number, but it's not easy to tell a Parmesan ham in your market. Parmesan whole hams in their bright gold wrappers are no problem. But Parmesan half hams aren't always labeled, so there's only one thing to do. Ask the butcher which are the honest-to-John Parmesan hams. Of course, you can tell a Parmesan ham once it's on your dinner plate, because there's the genuine flavor of the West in every sweet, succulent slice. Parmesan, you see, smokes his ham the old-time Western way over native Western wood to give it a flavor like no other ham you can buy. Parmesan ham is always strictly fresh, too. It's made from fresh Eastern corn-fed pork, brought out here live and dressed fresh right here in the West. Most other hams are made from pork shipped in frozen or cold storage. So be sure to ask your butcher for Parmesan ham, gold medal winner at the California State Fair. And remember, it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor. Don't be shy, speak up and ask for it. Parmesan ham.
Through 8 innings, the Mets 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers 1 run, 7 hits, and no errors. Joe Moeller will be pitching to Jerry Grody, then to the shortstop, Bud Harrelson, and to the pitcher, and he has been every inch that tonight, Gary Gentry. Jerry Grody hit into a double play, fouled out and flied to left. He's 0 for 3. Dodgers with Moeller and Haller, then Parker, Sizemore, Wills, Sudeikis, Mota, Davis, Crawford in the outfield. Joe into the windup and delivers, and the fastball is grounded to Wills. He stays with a tricky hop and throws out the Mets catcher, 1 away. Bud Harrelson, New York shortstop, is grounded to short twice, fouled out to left. Switch hitter batting left-handed. The Dodger hitters due up in the ninth: Crawford, Sudeikis, and Haller. Tomorrow night, the last game of the homestand, Dodgers and Mets. Moeller delivers, and the breaking ball is low. Ball one. One 0 pitch on the way. Inside at the hands. Ball two. Sudeikis in on the grass. Harrelson hitting left-handed, and Joe's 2-0 pitch outside, ball three. If the Dodgers lose tonight, the Giants go into first place in the Wild West. They would lead the Dodgers by 1 game. Here's the 3-0 pitch, in for a strike. And 3 of the contending teams would have the identical lost column of 59 games. The Giants would have won the most, 75. 3-1 pitch. Harrelson holds up on a breaking ball, ball 4. So Bud Harrelson draws a 1-out walk, and Gary Gentry, the pride of Phoenix, coming up. Walter Alston asking Stan Landis to check with a baseline umpire as to whether Harrelson had committed himself. Stan apparently looked at Tommy Gorman, and Tom has his arms folded at his chest, indicating that Harrelson was successful in holding up on the swing. Gary Gentry has struck out twice and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. Dodgers figure that Gentry is up there to bunt. Tommy Agee on deck. Gary around to bunt, takes a strike instead. 0-1. To Gentry. Moeller at the belt. Gary's around to bunt, flicks at the ball and misses. Strike 2. 0-2. The Mets scored in the first and again in the fourth on home runs by Don Clendenin. Swoboda doubled home 2 in the 6th inning, and they picked up another in the 8th. The only Dodger run came in the 6th. So it's 5-1 New York in the 9th inning. The runner goes. The bunt is foul, so Gentry is struck out. And back to first base goes Bud Harrelson. 2 down, and Tommy Agee will be the batter. Tommy Agee is 0 for 4. Slide to right, was thrown out on a nice play by Wills, and then struck out twice. Agee, right-hand batter. Moeller looks over at first, throws over there, and Harrelson almost leaning the wrong way. Just did get back. Moeller, another throw over there, and got him. They got him. And then Parker apparently had the ball come out of the glove, and Billy Williams then goes palm down. Billy called him out and then flashed safe. Parker turns to appeal to the first base umpire, but apparently the ball had rolled around in that trap mitt and come out. So Harrelson close the first time. They had him the second time, but West couldn't hold on to the throw. No error involved. Moeller looks at Harrelson, goes over there again, but this time Bud had a short lead and just hops back on the bag. Harrelson has stolen only 1 base this year. The pitch to Agee, high. 1-0 to Tommy. On deck, Wayne Garrett. Moeller on the rubber. Looks at first, and the 1-0 pitch. Slowing away, ball 2. 2-0. Harrelson a short lead. Moeller checks him, comes to the plate. A.G. takes high, ball 3. 3-0. Ninth inning, 5-1 New York. Moeller's 3-0 pitch. A.G. after it and grounds it foul outside of third, down the line, and the count 3-1. A.G. came into the game hitting .281 with a career high in home runs, 23, 65 RBIs. Three and one to Tommy A.G. Another throw to first, Harrelson back. Harrelson does not go, and the pitch fouled away. So A.G. is there 3-2. Now Berra over to remind Harrelson that he goes on the pitch. Crawford, Sudeikis, and Haller are the trio of Dodgers due up in the bottom of the ninth. 5-1 New York, 2 out top of the ninth. Harrelson ready and goes, and the pitch is fouled back. So the shortstop will try it again. Tommy A.G. He came to the Mets in the deal that sent Tommy Davis to Chicago. Of course, Tommy is now back in the National League with Houston. Harrelson goes, and the pitch is a bouncer to Sudeikis. Bill gloves, throws low, but Parker stays with it, and that's that. No runs, no hits, a man left. At the end of 8.5 innings, the Mets 5, and the Dodgers 1.
What you hear if you're driving a Maserati 75 miles an hour through the curves at Bridgehampton. And this is just for practice. We're sure these guys take chances, but they don't take more than they have to. We all take chances one way or another. That's life. But we can learn to spot trouble, too. Like warning signals your body gives you. Don't take a chance, you don't have to. It makes sense to know cancer's warning signals.
For a free copy, call your American Cancer Society.
Innings, the Mets 5, and the Dodgers 1.
What you hear if you're driving a Maserati 75 miles an hour through the curves at Bridgehampton. And this is just for practice. We're sure these guys take chances, but they don't take more than they have to. We all take chances one way or another. That's life. But we can learn to spot trouble, too. Like warning signals your body gives you. Don't take a chance, you don't have to. It makes sense to know cancer's warning signals.
For a free copy, call your American Cancer Society.
Bottom of the ninth inning, 5-1 in favor of New York. 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for the Mets. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Gary Gentry has turned in a great performance. And it was something that a lot of the Dodgers must have worried about. A hungry pitcher. He had not won a ball game since the 15th of July. And he was really on his game tonight. So leading 5-1 in the ninth, he'll pitch to Crawford, Sudeikis, and Haller. Crawford hit back to the box, struck out, and singled off Harrelson's leg at shortstop in the 6th inning. Left-hand hitting right fielder, Gentry delivers a big change, high and away, ball 1. He hasn't missed with that off-speed pitch very often tonight. He's not an overpowering pitcher. He struck out 4. But he has had excellent control, and he's been in charge all night. The 1-0 pitch, a strike, 1-1. There's a certain thing about presence and command out on the mound, and that's what Gentry has had all evening. Don Clendenin staked him to a 1-run lead and then a 2-0 lead. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Crawford. Fastball outside, ball 2. Tomorrow night, Claude Osteen for the Dodgers. Perhaps Jerry Koosman for New York or Don Cardwell. That'll be the last game on this stand. 2-1 pitch inside, ball 3. The Dodgers, of course, hoping that since Gentry has not won and has not gone 9 in a while, that perhaps he will run out of steam. Well, he's 9-11. He's completed 4 of 27. 3-1 pitch to Crawford. Fastball high, ball 4. And immediately a storm signal is up, and the New York Mets bullpen stirs around. That is the second walk given up by Gary Gentry. The other one came back in the 3rd inning. The batter is Bill Sudeikis. We can see Ron Taylor, the right-hander, and as a guess, Tug McGraw, the left-hander, would be up in the bullpen. That's a pretty reasonable guess in the bottom of the 9th inning. They're the 2 top men in the pen. Pitch to Sudeikis, taken for a strike. Bill is 1 for 3. He grounded out twice, and in the 5th inning, looped one to center. 0-1 to Sudeikis. Tom Haller on deck. Sudeikis looks at a low curve, and the count 1-1. Right-handed Gentry at the belt, and the 1-1 pitch to Sudeikis, taken for a strike, off speed, and he got it over. Boy, he's got a good change. For a fellow who has only been pitching professionally for, well, this is his 3rd year. He pitched 67 and 68. He has come a long way. A changeup, mark of a good pitcher. 1-2. Gentry delivers, and it's in the dirt. Scooped out nicely by Jerry Grody. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Casey Stengel and his wife Edna now leaving the ballpark. Casey getting a round of applause. He was on hand to see it. He saw the streak held by his favorite players snapped tonight by Willie Davis. And the world takes another turn. 2-2 to Bill. Gentry, a look over at Crawford. They're not holding him on. Sudeikis slices one foul down the left field line, back into the lower deck. Still 2-2. Gary Gentry looks into Grody. Clendenin directly behind Crawford. The pitch to Sudeikis is popped in the air off 3rd base in foul ground. Moving over easily is Garrett to handle it. 1 away.
Tom Haller. Catcher.
That'll bring up Tom Haller. Haller's 1 for 3. Fly to center, struck out, and singled. So the left-hand hitting catcher waiting with Crawford at first, 1 out in the 9th, 5-1 Mets. Ted Sizemore on deck. The first pitch to Haller, slow curve low, ball 1. With all of the additional young talent to have joined the Dodgers, to be a lot of folks who could appear as a pinch hitter if the inning keeps going. And that's one to Haller, a strike, 1-1. 1-1, the count to Haller. Gary Gentry trying to complete his 5th game and win his 10th. He's allowed only 1 run and 7 hits. Haller swings, fouls it away, off third base out of play. That'll carry to the second deck. 1-2 to Tom. Concluding game of the series in the homestand tomorrow night. Hope you'll be out here with us. Also have a look and see whether Willie can extend his hitting streak. The only streak after 30 and before you get to the record of 37 in the National League is a 33-game streak by Rogers Hornsby. Haller fouls it away, so it's still 1-2. The great Raja hit in 33 straight in 1922. One and 2 to Haller. The pitch to Tom, low, ball 2. Dodgers trying to get something started. Willie Crawford walked. Bill Sudeikis fouled out. 2-2 to Haller. A restless Cleon Jones standing up. The right foot on a step in front of the Mets bench. 2-2 pitch to Haller. Is a one-hopper into right field. Base hit. Crawford to second base. Makes a turn and holds there. And Svoboda's throw cut off by Harrelson. So Haller keeps things alive with a single to right. And with 1 out, the batter will be Ted Sizemore. And on deck is Jim Lafetu to bat for Joe Moeller. We'll have a runner now for Haller.
Number 12.
And Gil Hodges coming out of the Mets dugout. Vaughn Joshua, who is another of the stars of the future, and I'll tell you, he's very close to being here right now. He can fly. Vaughn, V-O-N, Joshua, like the guy who fit the battle. Well, he fits first base as a runner for Haller. With Crawford at second, 1 out in the 9th, 5-1 Mets. And Hodges apparently going to dip into the bullpen. He'll go to the veteran right-hander, Ron Taylor, who was the workhorse on the Mets staff. Taylor is coming into his 54th game.
Number 42. Ron Taylor.
So Gary Gentry gets a round of applause. He turned in a great effort and ran out of steam in the 9th inning. But he allowed 1 run and 8 hits. He leaves with a 4-run lead and 2 runners on the base path. So he either wins or has nothing to do with it. And Gentry turned in a strong performance. Now it'll be up to Ron Taylor to save it for him. Taylor has a record of 7-4, and he has saved a dozen. And he will be pitching to Ted Sizemore with 2 on and 1 out in the 9th, 5-1 New York. You know, tickets are on sale right now for all games the rest of the season, box and reserve seats. So take a tip for the games down this red-hot stretch and do your ticket shopping early. Games with the Giants, 26th, 27th, and 28th, and the 27th, Don Drysdale Day. Games with the Reds, September 15th and 16th, including a twilight night doubleheader on the 16th. There'll be games with Atlanta on the 17th and 18th. Well, they're all moving briskly. The smart fans are lining up their tickets right now. So shop at any Dodger ticket office, shop through Ticketron, the electronic ticket salesman, or shop by mail to the Dodgers, Box 100, Los Angeles 90051. But remember, do your ticket shopping early for the September stretch games. Ron Taylor, big right-hander, originally in the Cardinal organization. If you have a good memory, if you remember things like that, You might remember that in 1963, in a very torrid pennant race, a kid who was virtually unknown for the Dodgers by the name of Dick Nen hit a most important home run against the St. Louis Cardinals. The Dodgers, even in the game, went on to sweep the series, went on to win the pennant and the World Series. Well, Nen hit the home run against Ron Taylor. He's made a lot of pitches since then, and the veteran is in his 54th game and one of the big reliable men on the Mets staff. Ted Sizemore was held hitless, although he walked. Against Gentry, he popped up and flied to center. He's up there with 2 on and 1 out. 9th inning, 5-1 Mets, and the first pitch a strike. Dodgers have a couple of guys who can fly. Willie Crawford at second and Von Joshua at first. 5-1 Mets. Taylor trying to save it for Jerry Gentry. Ron at the belt, and the strike one pitch is a ball hit by the mound, slowly down to second. Rice feeds just in time, ahead of the sliding Joshua. The ball was hit very slowly, and Al just did get his fourth play at second base. So 2 down, and Jimmy Lefevre, the batter, with runners at first and third.
Number 5, Jimmy Lefevre.
Jimmy Lefevre hitting now for pitcher Joe Moeller. 2 out, 2 on. Dodgers down by 4. 5-1 New York. Lefevre hitting left-handed against Taylor. Ron at the belt and delivers, and the fastball is low. Ball 1. Lefevre hitting .221. He has 2 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Willie Crawford down the line from third. Ted Sizemore away from first. And Ron Taylor to his stretch. The 1-0 pitch to Lefevre. In for a strike. 1-1. Taylor makes his home in Toronto. He was born there. Now Ron up on top. Checks the runners, and the 1-1 pitch to Lefevre is a line drive base hit to right field. Crawford scores. Sizemore stopping at second base. That makes it 5-2, and it gets Wills up to the plate, and we'll have another runner. This time we'll have a runner for Lefevre. The Dodgers, of course, are loaded with youngsters since the minor league seasons have come to an end. There are a lot of talent in the dugout to be used by Walter Alston. He already used Von Joshua. Now we'll have another kid.
Running for Lefevre. Number 2, Bobby Valentine.
Bob Valentine was a first-round draft by the Dodgers, and they think he is going to be something. Valentine is running at first. Sizemore is at second. And the batter is Wills, and they have tied him up tonight. Maury is 0 for 4. So the Dodgers trying to scramble back with 2 out in the 9th. Taylor delivers outside. Ball 1. Manny Mota on deck. Gil Hodges, Yogi Berra, Rube Walker all showing a little concern. They're off the bench in the Mets dugout. Now they're trying to get the attention, I believe, of Ron Svoboda. And now Svoboda keeps looking over his shoulder, and now they move him finally. So Svoboda moves about a half a dozen steps to his right. They don't expect Wills to pull Taylor down the line. So they move Svoboda over a little bit more towards the gap in right center. Ron at the belt. The 1-0 pitch. Wills hits a line drive base hit to right. Here is Sizemore. They'll stop him at third base as the throw comes to the plate. They're not going to gamble with 2 out on the ninth. They can't. And the bases are loaded for Mota. So the Dodgers doing what they have done ever since the first day of spring training. Scramble. And it's not going to be Mota. It's going to be Andy Costco. Mota has been hurting. His knee is sore and his elbow is sore. And so Costco is going to come up against Ron Taylor. Dodgers have loaded the bases. They have scored a run. The Mets now lead 5-2. And Andy Costco hitting for Mota. Manny went 1 for 4, but that left elbow is really bothering him. So Andy Costco hitting against right-hander Ron Taylor. The Dodgers have Ted Sizemore at third. Bob Valentine at second. Maury Wills at first. 2 out in the ninth, 5-2 New York. Taylor out of a windup, and the breaking ball of strike at the knees. 4-1. Costco with 18 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Taylor checking Grody. The strike 1 pitch to Costco. Curve almost hit him on the hands, 1-1. Willie Davis is on deck. Tug McGraw, the left-hander, throwing in the New York bullpen. The count to Costco. The pitch to Andy. Slider for a strike. 1-2. Costco gesturing with his left hand. He thought the pitch was outside, and Stan Lander said no. Taylor scraping at the dirt atop the rubber. Costco waiting, and the ball game on the line. Bases loaded, 2 out, 9th inning. 1-2 pitch to Costco is a looper. Back at second base, going to be trouble. It drops in. In comes Sizemore. In comes Valentine. Wills to third. It's 5-4 New York. The steps of the dugout and slowly going to the mound. The Dodgers doing what they do best, scrambling. They have scored 3 times in the 9th. The Mets had a handy 5-1 lead. They now lead 5-4. Tug McGraw has been throwing in the bullpen. And with left-hander Willie Davis coming up to the plate, it will be McGraw called in to get him. Ron Taylor got Sizemore and then gave up consecutive singles to Lefevre, Wills, and Costco. And here's the announcement on Tug McGraw. Boy, what a finish to a wild ball game. To have Willie Davis, who extended his streak to 30 with a 5-ball double, now coming up with the ball game on the line against a tough left-hander. In relief, he might be as tough as anybody else in the league. He ranks right there with Joe Horner and Jim Brewer. Left-hander Tug McGraw. So while McGraw makes his walk in from the bullpen, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
You can charge your purchases and take many months to pay at AZ Lighting Center, 2960 North 16th Street in Phoenix, where you can use your Arizona Bank Bank Americard.
This is KTAR Phoenix.
All right, McGraw has reached the mound. Gil Hodges talking to him, passed him on the back. McGraw is loaded with two things so important to be a success: confidence and ability. He's got them both. He might have as much confidence or more so than ability. It might be a tie. He's a great young pitcher. Tug McGraw, an even 175-pounder from Martinez, California. McGraw, as he practices a few warm-up tosses, is 7-3, making his 35th appearance. An ERA of 2.6, and he has saved 9. So the Dodgers, with all guns blazing here in the bottom of the ninth, send their 8th man up to the plate. Crawford walks, Sudeikis fouled out, and Haller singled, and that was enough for Gentry. In came Taylor, and Sizemore hit into a fourth, but Lefebvre singled home Crawford. Then Will singled to load the bases. Single to drive in two. And the ball game is on the line as Willie Davis makes his way up to home plate. Willie Davis has grounded to short, struck out, doubled, and fouled out. The Dodgers have Bill Russell running for Costco. So they have used in this 9th inning 2 pinch hitters, Lefebvre and Costco, and 3 pinch runners, Valentine, Joshua, and Russell. And here's Willie Davis, Wills the tying run at third, and Russell at first, held on by Clendenin. And Willie waiting, and McGraw standing in attention on the rubbers, looks in to get a sign. The left-hander ready. Checks in the pitch to Davis. Fastball foul back, 0-1. Backs away, looks at Danny Ozark. Great finish to the ballgame. The Mets, 5 runs, 8 hits. The Dodgers, 4 runs, 11 hits. Dodgers really rallied only twice tonight, in the 6th when they got 1 and here in the 9th. McGraw ready. The strike 1 pitch. Fastball straight foul. Outside of third and down the line. He put the slug on that thing. 0-2. Tug McGraw, his true name, Frank Edwin McGraw. He was 25 just a couple of days ago. To Willie Davis. 25,676 dropped by tonight, and it's going right to the wire. Davis waiting, McGraw delivers, low with a fastball. Ball 1. Boy, it's something, isn't it? The 2nd of September in the Wild West of the National League. And the season has exactly a month to go. 1-2 to Davis. McGraw at the belt. The left-hander delivers. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3. So Willie Davis going after a big overhand curve, strikes out, and the game is over. The Dodgers go under the wave and lose by 1. 8 men went to the plate. 3 of them came home. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 left. And the totals on the game for the Mets, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For the Dodgers, 4 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher, Gary Gentry. He needed help in the 9th inning, and he got it. The losing pitcher, Don Sutton. Don't forget the same 2 clubs tomorrow night. For the Dodgers, Claude Osteen, and for the Mets, pending on Gil Hodges' decision, but he might go with left-handed Jerry Koosman, and therefore have him ready for Monday's meeting with the Cubs.